I'm good, not too bad.
That's great. So tell us something about yourself, please.
So I am Muhammad Haseeb
All right.
from I did my bachelor's in Pakistan,
Hmm.
and after that I went out for masters. I wanted to do more about the research based master, so
Hmm.
I find a position in Korea Electrotechnology Research Institute where I did work on electric machines and drives
Hmm.
for for like vessels, ships, and like it's electric propulsion systems. Even you can call it like the project. Whole project was funded by Hyundai Electric,
Hmm.
so that's come from there. And in parallel, I get a master's degree from University of Science and Technology, South Korea. And after that, maybe like it was a gap of like 2 or 3 months. Then I get a position in University of Strathclyde, UK.
Hmm. Hmm.
So here I'm a postgraduate researcher, and I'm working on a project which is funded by one is from Airbus, and
Hmm.
the other one is from National Manufacturing Institute of Scotland. So
Hmm.
after like 3 or 4 years, I will get my PhD and also
Hmm.
research work done.
That's great. And it's always wonderful to listen to the people who are really this much into the education. But now my question is, after graduation, why did you go abroad? Why didn't you continue in Pakistan?
Frankly speaking, um, I don't want to pay more. So I find funded positions. So
All
in
right.
Pakistan, it's not first of all, like they have a master's position, they offer masters and PhD, but most of them have you have to do the coursework. I don't know why they
Hmm.
have a coursework after if you have done bachelor's. Still,
Hmm.
you need coursework. Then you wasted 4 years during bachelor's.
Hmm.
So I wanted to do like more of a research works
All
and
right.
like a industrial project. So
Hmm.
that's why I
Okay.
went to Korea, and after that, here.
All right, that's great. So, what is the basic difference that you found in Pakistani education system and over there in Korea and also in UK?
At the bachelor's level, there is not much of a difference apart from like outdated curriculum. So you
Hmm.
need to have much updated one, and other than that, it's like just a basic. So you always study basics during your
Hmm.
bachelor's, but after bachelor's, you need to be more involved in the real time scenarios. You need to be
Hmm.
more involved in the industrial projects. You need to be more involved and the challenges humankind are facing. So you have to be more responsive to that one
Hmm.
instead of still going back and start doing the coursework and stuff like that. Apart from that, you can what you if like obviously if you are part of a university, you have to have some credits. You can change that with the research and development kind of things,
Hmm.
humanities, ethics. So
Hmm.
that's you need your whole life to learn that. So that's
Hmm.
a big difference.
All right, great. So, when you went there to Korea, now you are in UK. So, do you also work along with your studies, or is it only the studies you are pursuing?
Uh, like I said, my studies are like research based. So
Hmm.
my research work is my job,
Hmm.
and by doing that, I'm also getting my degree. So they
Hmm.
paid me for my
So
degree,
they
so I
pay
don't
you.
have to work.
All right. So what's the general situation over there in UK? If a student is studying, so do they also work while they're doing the graduation, or might be the master degree and all, or not?
It's very in UK. It varies from program to program
All right.
because it depends on your own priorities. Students
Hmm.
come here just for like study. They pay fees. They don't go for like industrial projects. If
Hmm.
you search the industrial project, you see what industry is, what's the challenges industry is facing, and they will pay you to solve that challenge within 3 or 4 years. Then you will get the job at that part, and you can also study. Like both
Hmm.
goes in parallel. So it depends like how much effort a student will put into his studies.
Hmm.
So he when he was applying to university, when he was looking for the position, he has to look for the real like if that position is just for like you get the degree only, you have to pay your fees, then you have to work with that, you cannot afford. But
Hmm.
if you like you get the position at the university, but then you also apply for like a grants from even like the Ministry of Science, and
Hmm.
also like industrial partners like I'm doing with one with Airbus. So you get the grant, so you can support yourself quite
Hmm.
easily.
That's great. So, putting it in a nutshell, what do you think is the basic difference in education system and plus in the students studying in Pakistan and abroad?
Um, in Pakistan, the one thing which we lack, the basic difference which I feel it there is not there is you don't have research and development. So
Hmm.
you need to be more involved in like a futuristic research. You need to be like you always dream of Pakistan moving forward. How
Hmm.
can you move it forward if you keep on sticking yourself to the same basics all over your life? So you have to
Yeah.
be involved with the challenges and
And by
everything.
studying past only.
Yeah. you have
Hmm.
to you have to overcome the challenges, you have to find the solutions. So that's it's like after bachelor's, masters, and PhD, it's not just like you are going to school, you finish your credits, you get the degree and job done. You have to give some output, you have to
Hmm.
bring some results, you have to show something like, okay, that's my contribution. And if like the researcher dreams was if he ever have like something you publish papers and some papers you get patents, once it become the part of a curriculum or you see that in the textbook, that's your dream come true.
Hmm.
So you
All
need
right.
to solve the problem.
So, what do you think? Just as you said, they're like they are more into the research and development thing, and Pakistan is a bit slow in that. I'm not saying not into that, but slow in that. So, what do you think? What are the key changes we need to have in our Pakistani education system? Number one. Number two, you also have to tell me that what skill pattern we should add. I mean, what skills we should add into the education system that students should be getting before going into the marketplace.
Okay, so like you said, Pakistan is like it's not like they are doing research.
Hmm.
NUST is doing really good job,
Hmm.
but you have a lot of private and public sector universities. Every university have to give their input, and if you like you have to get more involved with the industry. You have a lot of industry like now it's like for like last 2 or 3 years there's a lot of manufacturers coming in, lots of companies investing in Pakistan.
Hmm.
You're like it's a buffet for opportunities. You have to you have to get it. And how you can get that, if you put more efforts in your bachelor's, you have to put more basics on like you have to like develop it, and you don't need to teach them how to use the calculator, you have to teach them how calculator was made. So
Hmm.
once your students know like how things get done, so they will find their way.
Yeah, I mean, secondly, they are already teaching how computers were made, but they're not teaching
Yeah.
us that what changes can we make now. I mean, what are the possibilities? Where exactly do we work? Because if you talk about the computer subject specifically in intermediate and graduation level, even I do have object with that. That they are just teaching the generations, they are teaching the abacus and starting from there over there. And after that, they are teaching the maximum content that we have in it, even at the intermediate or the graduation level, that is about the features of Windows 98, features of
That's
Windows
introductions, that's
XP.
introduction.
Yeah.
How computer talk, how things get done, like how the buses works, that's what I mean. You
Yeah.
need to program it.
I mean, we got it. We got it. This is how it works. So, what can we learn, and how can we develop their mindset that they are now more creative? Because the world is standing over here, the content we are teaching to our students is over here, and we are expecting this level. And I mean, of course, you can see the result. Why every other, like, why we are still the developing country, other developed countries are there. So, if we compare that, okay. So, what about the government? I mean, how government is taking the education system? How do they take it over there? And how did you experience it over here in Pakistan?
um, for like if you talk on a government level, I can say like if in here the government is giving you opportunities, like you have opportunities to go to at any conference you want, you can get content from
Hmm.
anywhere you want, you don't need to go from Google to like from one link to another for just search of one single paper. You can just
Hmm.
click it and you can have it.
That's
You
great.
have like the whole, they call it MOOC, like massive online outsources, like every data you have it. So in Pakistan, you need to get your universities registered with those journals, you have to have everything which is published available to you. So like somebody, if anybody want to do something, so they have some, like they can just go and search it and they can learn and they can do it. They don't have to wait for it, or they don't have to ask for it. They can
Hmm.
just do it. Government have to done this one. They have to sign more MOUs with institutes. And also, like it was like 2 years ago when the government changed, and there was like a talks of changing some certain houses to
Hmm.
research institutes, making new research institutes. I was really happy. I was like,
Hmm.
okay, now my like maybe next 2 or 3 years will be final, and then I will move back to Pakistan. I will work from there.
Hmm.
And I don't know if it comes true. Like you have research institutes there, you work with other research institutes. I can, if I'm working in Pakistan, I
Hmm.
can bring labs together. I can bring my lab at UK. Even when I move to UK, I'm still working with two professors in Korea
Hmm.
and one in US. So if you talk to those people, if you know those people and you bring back the man force, you can like Pakistan will flourish. You need
Hmm.
research institutes, you need your tools. That's all.
All right. Just as you were saying, in UK, everything is accessible, everything is available all the time. But in Pakistan, like the permission is only being given to the universities. They do have the authority; they can search the data. I think in Pakistan, we take it like if we'll give it free of cost, if we'll give access to everybody, so they will start taking it for granted. So let them think that they are getting something really worth having. That could be the reason they are not sharing. Okay, so I have one perception. I once asked a person who came from Sweden over here in our institution, and he was talking once with me. I was hearing that every person, I was asking him, what do you suggest? People from Pakistan, should they go abroad or not? So he said, no, they should stay in Pakistan. They are just not aware that how much blessed they are by living in Pakistan. They have so many opportunities and all. They have family, they have each and everything accessible. The markets are closer. They can do any work, they can do any business, commission-based work or anything. But over there, it's not easy at all. So I asked him, why don't you come back? So he said, no, 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 I don't want to come back. And I was like, so why don't you want to come back? He was like, over here in Pakistan, you have everything, but there is only one thing that you do not have, and that is money. And over there, you have nothing, but there is one thing that you have that sticks you to stay there. That is again the money. What's your perception about that? How do you yourself see yourself after 5 years? Might be. Do you want to come back to Pakistan or not?
If frankly speaking, even at the moment, I'm trying to build something for me so I can come back.
All right.
So I am working with one private company there. It's a
Hmm.
small software house. So
Hmm.
I'm like it's a collaboration work. So we try to put some hardwares in place
Hmm.
so we can start one more company.
Hmm.
So doing a joint venture with them, and then I have one my own, like you can call it like my family based like
Hmm.
a software studio. That's
Okay.
also I'm working on that one. So I went abroad just to get the skills. Like degrees never like get you money. You have to
Hmm.
have a skills. So if you
True.
get the skills, then you can cash your skills.
Hmm.
So for me, like I wanted to come back maybe after 2 or 3 years. 5 years
Hmm.
is a long time, but
Okay.
even if the ventures I started, if I cannot establish it, if I cannot support my family with that one, maybe I will go for like 1 or 2 years. That's at max. But I don't know. It's hard out there. Like if you're living abroad, you still stay immigrant. You can have
Hmm.
nationality, you stay immigrant. But the world is changing, so I think Pakistan
By
would be the
saying
future.
so that degrees are not important, skills are important. Now you are back to my ground, and I'm not going to let you go this time. What are those skills? Sorry. What are those skills that you feel like are really important, might be more than degrees?
Okay, I have engineering degree
Okay.
and in 2014, and after that I searched for a job based on that degree, that piece of paper, for like 1.5 year.
Okay.
No luck. I know, like I'm good in programming. My major was electrical engineering. I'm not a software engineer, but
All right.
still I understand like programming for like 2 or 3 months. I study some frameworks. I go to software house and tell them what I can do. They just
Hmm.
hire me.
Hmm.
That come from the skill. And for getting to Korea, I did not use my degree. I went to one, like it was a private company. They do NTDC projects.
Hmm.
So I stayed with them for 3 or 4 months without any like pay or something. I just learn what they are doing, and then I get a position at Korea Electrotechnology Research
Hmm.
Institute. At the institute, I most of my work was developing a machine and testing a machine. So I learned how to do that. It's all like you get to online, then you go to different universities for like couple of days, and then you see like you just get the course. You go there in a week. You just finish the course, come back. You can apply that thing. You just
Hmm.
get the skills from wherever you get it. You have to do it. And once I finished my project, everything was done. I did some like research and developments credits, and then I get the degree. That degree is like on the shelf. I have it. I framed it. Then again, that project which I produced there, I have like 3 or 4 publications. Then on the basis of that publication, I get grant for this degree.
Hmm.
So the skills is like I have a skill. From skills, I'm getting degrees and get paid.
Hmm.
So
And that skill is paying
that's
you.
my experience.
Hmm. Yeah, true. I mean, that exactly the story with me as well. Whatever degrees
Yeah,
I got, so
they
I mean,
stay on the
every time
shelf
the
or on the
skills
wall
will
wherever
pay.
you put them. They will not go and do the interviews for you.
Yeah, true. And I usually say one more thing in my even in my classes that the education system is teaching us reading and writing only. But when we go to interviews, the degrees, I mean, even we are presenting that, they ask us to speak, and we are not trained for speaking at all. We are not tuned in that way. We are not habitual to speak in front of, or might be in a formal conversation, even after completing degrees and all. Okay, so in Pakistan specifically, the during this pandemic, we have even the education system has suffered a lot because of this corona. How about over there?
That's it's a lesson. Now students, I'm very happy with that one because after 2014, what I learned, I maybe like I go to class for like a couple of days, 1 day, 2 day, and it's a
Hmm.
specific like a webinar or something. Most of the things I learned was I take courses from MIT, take courses from like US, like different universities like Colorado or something. But I never sit in the class for like a whole semester. Now
Hmm.
the students have opportunity to prove themselves. They have the text, they have everything. Now the challenge is like what they can do.
Hmm.
So and like it's not universities or like the rankings of the universities in Pakistan. It's all come in like one line. So students have to do everything by themselves. They have to
Hmm.
learn. They if like they have to search for the challenge. They have to know where they are lacking. So they have to do it everything by themselves. They have like they cannot blame teachers anymore.
Hmm. True.
So I personally like when I see like my cousins or my younger siblings, they are talking about like our class is going like that. I was like, ah, now you know how I reached there.
Used to do work in the past. Yeah.
Yeah.
True. All right. So just as you said, 5 years is a long period, and you will be coming back to Pakistan in 2 to 3 years. What positive changes are you going to bring with you in Pakistan, or any aim, any decision that you have made? When I'll go Pakistan, I'll bring these positive changes over there. What are those, if there are any?
First of all, like I said, I'm trying to run a company. The first thing I want to do is people who apply to the company, I will shortlist them, and then the rest of the all the candidates, I will tell them, okay, I did not select you. They should know it.
They should,
In
yeah.
Pakistan, I hate it. Like if I ask somebody, okay, you apply for that job, what happened? I don't know.
I'll
I
let you
never
know.
listened from them again. I was like, what the hell? Why? You need to have ethics. If you have a company, you have to have an ethic. If somebody applies you either accept it, you deny it. Otherwise,
Hmm.
don't ask for a position like a candidate. And the second thing is, I will not go for like I will go back with PhD. I have a very good opportunity, so I can apply to I can apply for a position at the universities. I will not go for that because one professor I was talking in and I think Seoul, and I talked to him like how you end up being a professor, why like you did not go for an industry job because that's much challenging and much better. He said like I was at industry and I will recommend you not to like after you finish your PhD or studies, never ever try to go to universities. You will go there, you become like them. You will go, you
Hmm.
will see, okay, that's the outline of my course. I'm gonna teach that for the rest of my life. You
Hmm.
have to be in the industry, so you know you have more context. You know the real
Hmm.
challenges your environment is facing. Your like the region where you stay, you end up is facing. So and
Hmm.
you also get the context with them. So after like 5 to 10 years of services in industry, then go for
Then you are
academia
eligible to
and
come up
then
with it.
start implementing.
Hmm.
In that way, you will bring research and development back to your universities.
Hmm.
That's the only way. So that's what I will do.
I mean, that's great. I mean, in Pakistan, even the teachers or the professors who are teaching businesses, they are not the businessmen themselves. The people who are teaching engineering, they are not practicing engineer themselves. So what happens, they are also teaching something which they have studied. They are not getting new knowledge, they are not getting new
Exactly.
experiences, new happenings in this market. They are not very well aware of that. So what they teach is only what they have learned, I mean, when they were studying. That is the real dilemma over here. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a wonderful approach. And the thing that you were saying in the beginning, that when you'll come to Pakistan, you'll make a company in which you are asking people to come and apply, and you are going to give them a call back that we did not select you. I mean, if you have listened to one phone call, there was a prank call. I'm sorry for that, Bill. So there was a prank call in which, a person was making call that we didn't select you. So he was like, okay, then why are you telling me that? I mean, so it's also difficult for an interviewee to listen to that
Yeah.
like you're not being selected.
That's their right. If you select them, you have to tell them, okay, congratulations, you're selected. I don't select you, you have to tell them like we your application lacked these points, so I
Hmm.
did not select you. We are sorry about that.
Hmm.
So they do not wait for your call. They do not have that one like a little wish, maybe I will get accepted there. So they will not waste your time or their time, not your time, sorry. So
Hmm.
like even if because I've been through like that process and I applied to different places. I go for I is even till now I'm still keep on looking for grants and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you like apply and you did not receive anything back, I get really angry.
Yeah.
I after like one maybe like 3 or 4 weeks of waiting, I will like contact them like, okay, I don't need it anymore or whatever. Just tell me either you accept it or deny it. Why you keep me hanging?
Hmm. Yeah. I
So
mean, it's so common.
that's maybe like that's a problem with me or everybody think like that. I feel like if somebody like apply to you or somebody have like they presented themselves, so you have to be ethically like it's your duty to tell them like either you hire them or not hire them, so
Hmm.
they know like even if you don't hire them, they know like for what they are lacking, so they can work on it.
Hmm. Yeah, and even quite recently, just because you were saying it, so it ring the bell in my mind that quite recently I applied for few of the international projects, and
Mm-hmm.
of course they did not accept that. That is why I'm sharing over here. So they send me an email, an apology email, that just because that we are getting so many applications, so we regret it or we apologize for not accepting you because there were better proposals available and we had to go with that. but keep applying. Next time we'll get back to you. So, like something they were saying. So you get to know within 2 to 3 days, within a week, that okay, this chapter is closed. I mean, there
Hmm.
is no hope anymore. Hope is
Yes.
something. I mean, I was once listening to a story that there was a security guard sitting outside a building, and it was freezing outside, and there was a person who was walking by. So he thought, oh, this person is freezing right now, so I should give him a jacket. And that person went to that security guard and he said, I'm gonna get you a jacket. Hold on over here. I'm coming back in 30 minutes, might be. That person goes home, he forgets about that. And when he got to know about that next day, oh, I had to give him a jacket yesterday. So he looked to that building again, and he saw like that security guard was not over there. He asked from the other people, and they said he's in the hospital. So when he went to the hospital, that security guard said, I was spending nights and nights over here, but you last night gave me the hope, and now
Yeah.
I'm in the hospital. So it happens.
He
It's the
cannot bear
mindset.
it.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
mindset. I mean, if you know it's not gonna work, so you accept it. You're not hanging in the
Yeah.
middle. So hanging in the middle is the worst situation that anybody can experience.
Exactly.
Okay, so I believe that is it. It was wonderful listening to you. It was wonderful to have this session with you, and your smile is really awesome. You are always smiling whenever you are speaking to
I
me.
I get so much of lockdown weight on me.
Okay.
So
That's
it just like I cannot do anything about it anymore.
that's great. That's great. So thank you so very much for your time, Haseeb. Take care.
Thank you so
Stay
much for
blessed.
having
Allah
me.
Hafiz.